What up, y'all? It's Joe Budden, here to talk about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money while watching football. You can get up to 100 times your money.
Prize Picks will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Just download the Prize Picks app and use code SPOTIFY. That's code SPOTIFY on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Today on CityCast Houston, Hispanic Heritage Month just kicked off this week, and it's such a special time to celebrate the culture, the history, and of course, the food of Hispanic and Latino communities that shape so much of Houston. And today we have a special guest who's giving us a guide on where to eat this month. Patty Delgado. She's the executive chef at the Ninfas in Uptown, and her impressive resume even includes preparing meals for former President George Bush Sr. Now, she's giving us her top recommendations to try for Hispanic Heritage Month, from mom and pop owned taco trucks to world-class restaurants. It's Wednesday, September 18th. I'm Rahil Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Chef Patty, what's up? Welcome in. How are you?
Good. How are you, Rahil? Good to see you.
I'm so excited to chat with you and get some delicious restaurant recommendations as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. But first, I'm curious, what are you cooking at home to celebrate?
So the first thing that always comes to my mind is pulling out the grill. We do a lot of grilling. That was a tradition that we did since I was a kid. The tios, the uncles, they would pull out the grill for anniversaries, parties, birthdays, you name it. And so that's the first thing that I thought. Let me pull out the grill and let's just do some grilling and celebrate.
What are you throwing on the grill?
Chicken, veggies, nopales. I love grilled nopales. They're so delicious. It's the grilled cactus. That's my favorite. The girls like the costillas, like the beef ribs. And, you know, some tortillas. You can't not have the tortillas on the grill.
You can't go wrong with that. Now, would your tios let you jump on the grill? Because I know you grew up cooking next to your grandmother, and that was a huge inspiration. But us men, we get protective of the grill, and nobody's allowed near it. I don't know why. Even I do this. Did you get a chance to at least get close to the grill?
As a kid, probably not. I ran by the grill a lot of times, but I don't think I was allowed to, you know, be on the grill. But of course, bringing out the meat, like I was very helpful. So like that's as close as I got. I would like, I'll bring the fajitas, I'll bring the chicken. And so I was the one standing there, you know, with the trays and stuff.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. All right. So let's celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month by eating at some great restaurants. And basically, we're going to make a day out of it with some breakfast, lunch. And I want to start with dinner first. I know we're going to go backwards here, but let's kick it off with dinner and the classic chile en nogada. This dish incorporates the three colors of the Mexican flag and is a staple for Mexican Independence Day. Do you know the story behind this dish?
I believe it was created by nuns in Mexico. And at the time, I think the emperor was coming to pretty much sign the Treaty de Coronado. And they created this beautiful chile, poblano chile, that was stuffed with picadillo, which is like a ground meat. It also sometimes has raisins, walnuts, sometimes even apples. And then it's covered with this beautiful cream walnut sauce and then garnished with parsley and some pomegranates, which actually come into season at this time. And I think that that's why it was part of the garnishes. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good. By the way, pomegranates taste 100% better when somebody else peels it for you, right? Like my mom always peels it for me. I'm a grown man, Chef Patty, and she will send bowls of peeled pomegranate for me. I don't know why, and it tastes so good.
I love it. There's a trick, and I'll have to show you one day. When you cut it, you find the ridges, and then you just tap it with a spoon, and they come right out.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that next time. For the folks like me who are still practicing our Spanish, right? You heard me say chile en nogada. I didn't sound as good as you, but what exactly does that mean?
So the enogado is the walnut cream sauce. So it's just completely covered. The chile is completely covered in the walnut cream base sauce.
Where's a good place to try it here around Houston?
Oh my gosh. So Chef Beatrice from Jalisco's has a featured right now with chile en nogado that is beautiful and super delish.
Okay. Got to definitely try that out. All right, Chef Patty, give me another dinner spot that we should go try out.
Oh, definitely you have to go to Sochi. Sochi is a great restaurant. They feature food that's from the state of Oaxaca. I always try to get the chef specials because I feel like that's a way to kind of connect with the chef that's there, that is putting out something beautiful, that's unique, that is not on the menu. So I always like to go for chef specials all the time. But every now and again, I'll have the tlayudas, which is a flatbread tortilla, and it's covered with black beans and Oaxacan cheese, which they make in-house. And that's one of my favorites.
Oh, that sounds so good. And it's one of Chef Hugo Ortega's masterpieces, right? This restaurant.
Oh, yes. Everything from when you first walk in, how they greet you, you sit down, the experience, the service, and they have such great curated drinks.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit, Chef Patty, and go to the start of our day. Where's a great spot and dish to have for breakfast?
Okay, so this is a new spot, and I think it's super killer. It's Emma. I don't know if you've had a chance to go to Emma. Have you?
Everyone's telling me to go to Emma. Our executive producer, Laura Isensee, has been telling me as well. She's like, we have to go to Emma. We have to go to Emma. It was actually picked as the best breakfast spot in our episode last week. So to have a chef recommend this as well, this has like become CityCast Houston / Emma.
Yeah, you have to. You're going to love the chilaquiles. They're made with brisket, salsa verde, totopos, and queso fresco. You can't go wrong. I mean, I'm even getting chills just talking about it. The chilaquiles are off the chain. Also, the pan dulce. I mean, come on. It's like freshly made pan dulce, and their coffee program is so awesome. It's stellar. So, un pan dulce, un cafecito, and some chilaquiles, and you are going to be starting a great day.
Oh my gosh, you have sold me. I was already sold, let's be honest, but now coming from you, and I'm just going to order exactly what you told me right there. That is perfect. Okay, for lunch, I'll start with this one because I wanted to get your recommendation, and we will. But to me, you have to go to Ninfa's. Okay, I'm not just saying this because you're here. I've actually picked the fajitas from Ninfa's as my top dish in one of our food drafts that we've done. So I am not just saying this because you're here again, but there's nothing better. So I love going to Ninfa's, especially in Uptown. I love seeing you there. But that's my lunch recommendation. It's the best. How about you? What are you eating for lunch?
All right. So, being in the restaurant and being busy sometimes, running around, you don't get a chance to like sit down and eat a full meal. Mm-hmm. So when I'm off, I'm still kind of in that mode. So I'll probably go to a taco truck.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's one that's my favorite. There's one called Taconazo. I don't know if you've had a chance to visit. It's off of Fulton, and their tacos de lengua are awesome.
Okay, I'm putting that on my list.
And their salsas are spicy and good. And you're talking about getting like this taco. You can have taco de trompo, fajita, but the taco de lengua is the one to go for sure.
Oh, I love it. I love going to any taco truck. I've made it a rule that if I see a taco truck in a random gas station driving around the city of Houston, hungry or not, I'm stopping and I'm trying it. And not only for me selfishly, like trying a good taco, but also just supporting that small business. Because at the end of the day, these taco trucks are small businesses. Isn't it just a great feeling when you go there and you're supporting this family usually? Exactly,
yes. And they're the ones that are working the taco truck, right? So if you go frequently, you get to build a relationship with them. Mm-hmm. And then how beautiful will it be to see them expand and grow? So absolutely, I agree. I think any taco truck that's around, we got to go hit it up.
I'm glad you brought up taco trucks because it wouldn't be a Hispanic Heritage Month episode without celebrating the culinary delight that is a great taco truck. But also, I think moreover, even supporting the small business in a time right now when there is so much anti-immigrant rhetoric, like supporting these trucks to me is almost fighting back against that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it just
Yep.
feels a little different. Does it feel different for you this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the more and more you are aware and you kind of reflect on your childhood, how you grew up and being here, it's very, very beautiful to share that, especially with your children, to express to them what it means to be, Hispanic, to be a Latino or Latina in this country. It's a very special thing. And what can you do, to be present for your culture, for your people? And you kind of get to a point where you're like, wow, this is much bigger than me. But as small as I am, I can still play a role. I can still be an advocate. I can still represent and show up when it's necessary. And so, yeah, this one in particular is very, very special for sure.
Are you looking for some more culture and art for your social calendar this fall? Then check out the Moody Center for the Arts at Rice University. They have a new fall exhibition by internationally renowned artist Do Ho Suh on view in the Moody Galleries Tuesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And throughout September, the Moody is celebrating new public artworks. You can see new work by Karen Olivier and Rafael Lozano Hammer, and you can even meet the artists at their public receptions. Whenever I visit, I'd love to start by exploring all of the incredible exhibitions and then ending my day with a viewing of the Terrell Sky Space as the sun sets on Houston. Want even more things to do and find creative inspiration? Follow The Moody on Instagram at The Moody Arts. You can find more information on everything happening at The Moody with their full calendar of events at moody.rice.edu. That's moody.rice.edu. I'll see you at The Moody.
This episode is brought to you by Stars. Lisa Tadeo's best-selling book is about to become your favorite new show. Based on a true story, the new Stars original series 3 Women stars Shailene Woodley as Gia, a grieving and struggling writer who embarks on a cross-country road trip where she meets 3 women determined to radically change their lives. This one is not to be missed. Watch the season premiere of 3 Women now, only on Stars and the Stars app.
I have a sweet tooth. I will eat every dessert you put in front of me. If you put 4 in front of me, I'm eating all 4. What are you recommending for a great dessert?
Great dessert. Well, can I say Ninfa's Uptown, or is that?
Hey, you can definitely say it. You can definitely.
I love our flan. I love our flan. It is so delicious and creamy. When we were working on these recipes, there's trials that you're doing, testing. And by the way, that's the hardest part of my job, is to test the recipes. And so as we were getting closer and closer with this flan recipe, I was like, ooh, that's like grandma, status. Like, this is very creamy and delicious, and the caramel syrup. So when I say grandma status, I mean like, when we were a kid, my grandma would make flan and she'd make them like in these tiny little cups. And then the best part was like flipping them out and over and then just like eating it as quickly as you could. But then like all the syrup that was at the bottom of that glass, it was just like
the fight for the syrup.
The fight for the syrup. Yes. And so I really do love our flan.
Yeah, it really is a grandma flan, as you put it. Look, my background, I'm Pakistani American, right? And my grandmother, when she was alive, she lived in San Antonio. So I don't know who gave her this recipe while she was in San Antonio, but she would make a flan just like the one you made. It's so wild that a grandma from Pakistan made the same exact flan. Like, it reminded me of that. It's so wild.
But that's the beauty about, we'll say, Texas, is that we can come from different parts of the world and we still are able to gather from all the cultures that are around us, near us, our neighbors, our classmates. And so to me, that's a beautiful story,
Yeah. For me, my dessert recommendation is the Tres Leches at El Bolillo. I love going there. And now they have so many locations, so you don't have to go to the airline one. But the one on airline, just, I don't know why, it's just more special. It tastes better for whatever reason, right? I don't know. It's just me being nostalgic. But their Tres Leches, especially the cookies and cream Tres Leches, I know that's blasphemy right there. like going away
good.
from the original, but it is so good. It is so perfect.
No, that's good. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That is good.
So a lot of people, including some here in H-Town, tend to think that Hispanic food is a monolith, right? Lumping it all in with Mexican food. But of course, we know that this category is so much more diverse. Where could Houstonians go for some great food from other places in Latin America?
Oh, absolutely. So my family is from El Salvador. And so one of the restaurants that we love to go to is El Sol restaurant in Katy. They have great pupusas. Their curtido is very delicious. They also have tamales. So when I want something that's a bit nostalgic to growing up with grandma's cooking, that's one of the restaurants that's kind of close to my heart.
What filling do you like in your pupusa?
Revueltas. That's the pork and the cheese. And
Okay.
I also love loroco, which is like an herb, and it goes in the pupusas. That's my favorite.
Nice. What other recommendation do you have?
There's also like this other little spot. It's Sabor Venezolano. They have some really good arepas. So every now and again, we'll go there with a little coffee and an arepa. So that's good.
Oh, that sounds perfect. All right. One last thing, and I can't wait to get this answer from you. Is there a dish you can recommend that we should cook at home to celebrate?
Let's see. Well, I would say pull out the grills, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did something at home, I guess you could do something like un guisado, which is like you could take a cut of beef, like a New York strip, and then it's kind of like a stew. And you can put vegetables like potatoes and carrots and tomatoes. And that one always pairs well with rice. And of course, tortillas. You can't forget the tortillas.
You can't forget the tortillas.
Yes, exactly.
You cannot forget it. And like, I know cooking at home is so special to you. How do you incorporate that into what you're doing at Ninfa's Uptown and also like your inspiration? Because you are really spending time curating a menu now that is highlighting the regional side of Mexican food, right?
You know what inspires me is when I get a chance to go to farmers markets. I love Azteca's farmers market. They have like great produce. They have spices that I don't generally get to find at grocery stores. So I go to Azteca's farmers market just to get like a little bit of inspiration. Mm-hmm. I also like Mi Tienda. Mi Tienda has awesome like aguas frescas, pollo asado, and of course, the spices and the ingredients that you're looking for whenever you want to make some of these dishes. And of course, just reading. I love reading books and Instagram, another visual inspiration for new restaurants that are either local or international.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Chef Patty, thank you so much. I can't wait to go try out all the places you recommended. And it's going to be a month of eating here, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. And I can't wait to see you at Uptown again.
Thanks, Chef Patty.
Bye.
That was Executive Chef Patty Delgado. You can try all of her creations at Ninfa's in Uptown. And I've also linked a feature story about her journey from our friends at Houstonia Magazine. Hey, be sure to send this episode to 3 of your foodie friends. And if you want even more recommendations for food and drink, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, Hey Houston, with the info in our show notes. Thanks. That will do it for today. I'm Rahil Ramzanli. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.